Hello my friends and fellow gamers, and welcome back to this Baldur's Gate 3 Honor Mode playthrough. My name is Blue, and I am here with my party. We've got Will, Astarion, Lae'zel, and the displaced Myconid Monarch, Sovereign Glut, in our party. And leading the charge, we have Luna, the Druid Tiefling. In the last episode, we had a rather embarrassing and unsatisfying fight against the Boulette. We just couldn't seem to do enough damage against it to pierce through its temporary HP, and it burrowed away before we could actually take it down. But with that, I wouldn't call it a failure, but not success under our belt, we are going to explore the lakeside area where the Myconids have said that Duergar are residing. So without further ado, we're just going to charge right in. Nobody passing a perception check. I'm sure everything's going to be fine.
What? Gek! Got someone sneaking up on us.
So we see some Duergar. We're lying in wait. Luna is going to try and hold her hands up in peace, trying to act non-threatening.
You got a bloody rot flower for company? Must have let it get in your head. My axe will fix that in no time.
But apparently they're not interested in living peaceful little lives. So Astarion, he probably won't be able to, but he's going to attempt to cast Hunter. I'm not even going to... Why are you still concentrating if I can't recast it? Oh, because it's on the Boulette, and the Boulette disappeared. Okay, so I'm not even going to bother recasting Hunter's Mark, because this guy right here has Counterspell, and he's just going to whisk it away. So instead, Astarion is just going to Dread Ambush or Hide to give himself advantage, and start off with his Dread Ambusher shot into the back for 14 damage. Second shot. Ooh, a critical miss. And a third shot for 16 damage. And then he is just going to kind of tuck into this corner, not open that rotting basket. I just want him to go into the corner. Move this. And take the place of the rotting basket. And that's pretty much all he can do. Next, we see someone who was invisible firing some shots onto Sovereign Glut. Next up, Gek animates a lot of undead, so that might be interesting. Luna is going to wild... I'm wondering if I wanted to put spike growth down there, just to slow their progress a little bit. I think I will. So I'm going to have to just tank this hit. 4 damage, that's not bad. And then try and spike growth right here. Oh shoot, I forgot about Counterspell. So never mind, she is going to wild shape into a bear and hold her ground.
No holding back.
But at least, hopefully this means that Will won't be counterspelled with his Eldritch Blast. Okay, Lae'zel, move forward, you're blocking Will's way. Lae'zel comes into the room with the archer and just starts smacking. Perfect. Booming Blade does quite a bit of damage. Do I have that amulet on her? I do. So I'm going to have her chug a little potion real quick to coat her weapon in poison, and I will have her swing again. I should have had her do that first. I completely forgot that I had that amulet on her. And then she's going to hang out here. Will, I don't want him stepping in the fire. I think it might be unavoidable, so I'm just going to have him jump into the doorway and fire off 2. I'm just going to hope one of them hits that guy and the other hits that guy. Okay, perfect. Both hit, and I think both killed. Yes. Well done, Will. He is going to step up and try and provide support for whenever the undead start coming forward. Sovereign Glut. I'm just going to have him take the long way around because I don't particularly care what happens to him. He's going to dash and try and get behind Gek. So we see another invisible Duergar chucking something onto Luna. Now all of the corpses dash. That's why I was hoping to get spike growth down there. That way it would impede their movement a little bit. But oh well. So Luna is now surrounded by reanimated corpses. One of them moves out of her area of attack, so she takes an opportunity attack for 20 damage. Great job. Alright, so Astarion is going to get out his sword and take a stab. And with Undead Fortitude, anytime they quote-unquote die, they come back with 1 HP, which is really annoying. But he's just going to swing again and take care of them. Then he will step up. And I don't want to bait out a counterspell because Gek's turn is next. So he is just going to stay put. So now we have Gek casting Blindness on Sovereign Spa. Will.
2 steps at a time.
I will try and bait out a counterspell with a hex. So I don't really care who I'm hexing. Just pick someone. Okay, perfect. Counterspell. I'm going to try and get Luna out of there. So she is going to tank a bunch of attacks of opportunity, but I want her out because I want Will to lay down a Hunger of Hadar. So Luna is going to come up here and take a smack at Gek for 17 damage. Another smack for 15 damage. Great job. Will is going to place a Hunger of Hadar. I want to make sure that it's not hitting any of us. Okay, hang on. The camera's going wonky. I might need to have him back up a smidge so it won't hit him. So Hunger of Hadar, I think right here. I think that's the best I'm gonna get with the camera acting up the way it is. Okay, perfect. So we have Hunger of Hadar in that area, and he is going to back up and hold his ground. Sovereign Glut is blind, but he's going to come up and try and take a whack at Gek for a critical miss. Lae'zel is going to come forward. She doesn't quite have enough movement, so I will just have her do a ranged attack for 4 damage, sending him reeling, and 1 more. That sadly misses. She then will pretend to do a pommel strike just to get her melee weapon out and call it a day. Novice Garmer casts Enlarge, and then he comes to join the party. Okay, so Hunger of Hadar doing its job. Opportunity attack as somebody is moving out of Astarion's range for 12 damage. As the corpses continue to think about what they're going to do. There we go. So Astarion, I'm going to have him try and shove. I don't know how easily he's going to be able to do that. They're not going to go nearly far enough. So he's just going to smack the reanimated corpse, and actually... Alright, it would be a full action in order to cast the melody. So never mind, he's just going to smack again. Can he bite an undead? Nope. Because I was going to say, that'd be really wild if he could. So that's Astarion's go. His health is fine, so he's just going to hold put. Gek. Ooh, cast Invisibility. I don't know if he would be able to actually, like, move or if he's still there. Anyway, Will Oof. I might just fire some point blank shots onto the undead to see if I can push them back a little bit. I don't even need to push them back. I think outright kill, or not killed because I can't outright kill them. But yeah, he whittled down their damage, so great job to him. Alright, so we've got some reanimated corpses up here. I'll just tackle them for right now. So the reanimated corpse that has 16 health left, she smacks at it for 11 damage. And then another 12, but again, it reanimated with a +1. And she is going to chug a little potion. Glut is going to just kind of punch the air. Okay, he can't punch the air. So I will have him move and see if he can... I mean, I doubt the invisible Gek would, you know, do an attack of opportunity, but I'll just have him move away. Lae'zel... Might have her chuck an alchemist fire. Like right here? Okay, so Gek is not there. Not sure where he went. So instead, she will do a ranged attack onto the reanimated corpse with her arrow flying right through Luna's back. Alright, perfect. So that one is dead. And she again pretends she's going to pommel strike something just to get her weapon back out. And she's just going to tuck into the corner a little bit. Novice Garmer. We see a rage coming out. And he chucks something onto Luna but misses. Okay, we see another little zombie climbing up to join Will and Astarion. Someone smacks Luna, someone smacks Astarion. Someone smacks Astarion again. And again. Poor Astarion. I am going to have him hit the one reanimated corpse that has 1 HP left, take it out. And then he will attack the other reanimated corpse with 7 damage left. And then he is going to chug a little healing potion. He does have those 8 temporary HP from the shield that he has. So he has a little bit more protection there, but otherwise he's going to hold his ground. Gek. Oh, I was so close. Alright, so Will is going to, again, point blank fire some Eldritch Blasts into these reanimated corpses. Oh, shoot. I forgot about the counterspell. Dang it. So Will is instead going to attempt to shove... No, he's not. He will use his amulet and send out a healing word onto Astarion. And that's his go. Luna is going to smack Gek for 18 damage, and she's going to smack him again. Perfect for 15 damage, but since we have Call of the Week, that took care of him. And she's not going to waste a healing potion. Actually, yes, she is. Sovereign Spa is just going to uselessly cower by the doorway.
Victory awaits.
Lae'zel is going to just shoot an arrow into the reanimated corpse by Luna for 11 damage, and one more time for 8 damage. Great job from Lae'zel. Novice Garmer comes up beside Luna and takes a reckless attack for 13 damage onto Luna. The reanimated corpses, 1 missed Astarion, 1 hit. Ooh, Luna gets knocked out of wild shape. Astarion is going to smack the reanimated corpse that has 1 HP. And turn around and smack the other reanimated corpse behind him. So we just have one more that can come back with 1 HP, but this guy should be dead on Will's next Eldritch Blast. Can he shove anyone effectively? He'll try and shove the one. Nope.
Sometimes the only way out is
Luna is going to immediately go back into wild shape, into her bear form, as she is much more effective in wild shape. And she will smack Novice Garmer, who she has advantage against because he recklessly attacked. And she does it again. Okay, so remember, all of her damage is halved because he is raging. And so basically he is resistant to everything except psychic damage. And I don't think I have any sources of psychic damage. Anyway, that is Luna's go. Will is going to shoot an Eldritch Blast into this reanimated corpse and that one. Okay, perfect. And that other reanimated corpse should die on its next turn because it is stuck in the Hunger of Hadar. And I'm going to have... First, I'm going to have the Sovereign move out of the doorway and just stand in the fire. Why don't you? Will is going to come around and try and help his party from the back.
I will ascend.
Lae'zel is going to shoot at this reanimated corpse beside Luna for 8 damage, sending it reeling. Okay, and again, it was on 1 HP, but that was its native HP, so sadly it is still on 1 HP. Reckless attack on Luna. That reanimated corpse dies. Perfect. I will have Will end his concentration. That way Astarion can come down and try and fire up from the low ground on the reanimated corpse, taking that out of the fight. And next on to Novice Garmer. Ooh, sadly missing that shot. Then he is just going to stay put down here. Will is going to come around the edge. Come as far forward as he can. Okay, no, I don't have any more spell slots, so he is just going to go ahead and I'm going to, well, so if Repelling Blast hits, it looks like he's going to be coming down here. But I think I prefer him where he is, so I am going to turn off the repelling part of Repelling Blast and just shoot him in the face. Oh, for only 5 damage, but we do get lightning charges, that's good.
Still breathing.
Luna smacks out with her claws for 9 damage. And 8 damage, so 17 total damage on this guy. Slowly whittling him down. You can stay in the fire, my dude. Lae'zel comes forward. Can you get in there to smack with your weapon? Not really. Luna's chunky butt is in the way. So I might have Luna just scooch to the side a little bit.
It is ever easy.
Can you... Not really. So never mind. Lae'zel is just going to continue shooting. Actually, she's going to put a magic missile into his chest. Okay, does all of 3 damage. Great turn, Lae'zel. I'll have her action surge because we're probably going to long rest after this. So let's just use up all of our resources. And she's going to send an arrow into his chest, sending him reeling. And another arrow for 3 more damage. So still a bit of a sad turn, but again, what can you expect against a raging barbarian? He recklessly attacks Luna for 11 damage. Astarion is going to use up his last level 1 spell slot onto Novice Garmer and send an arrow into his back for 6 damage. Another arrow into his back for 10 damage. Great job.
The blade will not bend.
Pardon me. Will send 2 Eldritch Blasts into Novice Garmer. Perfect. Ending that fight.
The rot is cleansed.
So we see
Sharp as ever.
Sovereign Glut. We are going to speak to him with Will, because I want Luna to stay in her wild shape for reasons to be explained soon.
The tumor is excised. The Duergar
Indeed they are.
I break ground. From the dark will a mighty circle rise. My song will fill the grotto. Death Doer. The grotto may sustain but one sovereign. In the age of Glut, there may be no spore. Eliminate the other sovereign.
So you would turn on Spa, who gave you shelter.
A fate it has earned. My circle long suffered while the Duergar flourished. I sang to Spore for help. Yet it cowered in the grotto and let my people be slaughtered. Choose, Smooth Mind. Help me grow a mighty circle and reap the reward. Or protect the precious poltroon as it waits for the circle of Glut to devour it whole.
Right. Well, if you're so eager for blood, Gut, then let me give it to you. Will is not going to be standing for this.
You shall never again know home.
And Luna approves even though she was in her wild shape form. So Will gets an opportunity attack as Glut goes somewhere. Everyone is so clumped up here. Like everyone is standing on top of each other. Astarion. He's going to try out his new weapon, the Philarluv Melody, so I can either have it sing, wherein all allies will have basically a free bless on them, as well as some additions to Charisma, Wisdom, and Intelligence saving throws, or I can have it shriek, where all enemies will have a penalty to their Charisma, Wisdom, and Intelligence, and they receive extra thunder damage. I'll shriek it, why not? And then with his Dread Ambusher, I will have him just smack at Sovereign Glut. Perfect, for 15 damage, plus that 1 thunder damage. And he is just going to... Honestly, I'm going to have him just move out of the way. Just to clear some space. He's going to stay within range that the Shriek still impacts Glut, but he's going to go onto the low ground just to create more space. Will is going to jump back a little bit, again, just so that his Eldritch Blasts won't be at disadvantage, and he is going to Eldritch Blast Glut in the back. For quite a lot of damage. That was 26 and 430 damage coming from Will. Great job, buddy. Lae'zel can finally pull her blade out and smack with a booming blade. Ooh, sadly missing that. And main hand attack. Nice. Critical hit dealing 26 damage.
We saw to that.
Nice.
Good riddance. No good could come of its reign.
Agreed. Luna is going to dismiss her wild shape. And let's start looting all of these dead bodies. No, don't use that. I'll see you in a minute once I've got all of these guys looted. And we're back. So we've looted all of the shattered bodies down here as well as the ones up top and discovered this this waypoint. Let's go ahead and go to camp and long rest because we are out of short rests and there's still some more to do. So let's go ahead and head on to camp for a very well-deserved sleep. Who wants to chat? Astarion. Again? After he snapped at me for wanting to help him with his back?
Here's my little treat with their cheeks all flushed. You will come to my bed tonight, won't you?
Ooh. Yeah, you don't have to ask me twice. Again, if it's too raunchy, I'll cut it from the video.
I'm amazed you managed to keep your mind clear enough to fight. I've been thinking about our last night together ceaselessly. I'll be in quite a spot of mortal peril if you let me keep distracting myself dreaming instead of doing. We can't have that, can we? It would be very dangerous.
All right, I'll come find you after everyone is asleep.
I'll be waiting.
I'm choosing to take that as he's trying to make up for the fact that he snapped at me as I was trying to help him figure out what his back meant. But I don't think anybody else wants to chat, so off to bed we go.
I hoped you would come.
I hope I will too.
I have missed you. And now you're all mine. And I'm all yours. Until morning, at least. Let's see where the night takes us.
Okay, thankfully nothing too graphic there. Very nice. We all have to use our imaginations. I wonder if he'll have anything to say.
I had another visit
Oh,
from
nope.
that dream figure. I take it you did too. It claims that if we infiltrate the heart of the cult that's giving out these parasites, we'll find the answers we're looking for. It gave me another gift, too. Just like it did the first time it appeared. Rather generous, if you ask me.
Let's see. Both options 1 and 2 are fine. I think she's going to go with number 2 because it is imperative that they figure out how to discover the secrets of their tadpole and the magic that's making it unique. So whatever's at the heart of this cult, we have to find it by any means possible.
And while we're at it, we can see how many more of these little worms we can harvest. Now, was there anything else?
I don't think so, no. Maybe off camera I'll run through everybody's dialogue options just to clean up everybody's talking points, but for right now we will go ahead and head out. So at the Decrepit Village, by the waypoint, let's head up this rope netting. And we realize that we are very close to the arcane tower that Umeluum told us to visit to find the mushrooms for his little potion. But first we see... Come on. We see a splattered diary. So, property of Wolbrin. This is the gnome that Barkus Root was after. Oh, that's interesting. The author wonders if he'll ever see his friend Barkus again now that he's departed for the surface world. You'll know why that's an interesting take, because if you've played this before or seen someone else play it, Barkus is kind of... I don't want to be rude, but he's kind of a dick. He's not very nice to Barkus. Or sorry, Wolbrin. Wolbrin is the dick, not Barkus. Barkus is a sweetie. But yeah, Wolbrin is basically wants nothing to do with Barkus. So let's dig up this wooden chest. We find some goodies. Alright, Astarion, what did you spot? Oh, we've spotted the golden necklace. I will send Lae'zel up for that, actually, because I think... Hello, Lae'zel. Thank you. I think she's the only one with the strength to make that jump. I mean, I think everybody could get down, it's just, can they get back up again? So, gold necklace, just dangling from whatever that is. And then Luna and the boys will just continue exploring what's on this little lakeshore. Or dock, I guess it would be. So over here we see some simple boots, a half-eaten apple, some booze, a spoiled treacle tart. Treacle, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it. I think it's pronounced differently whether, you know, you're American or British. But anyway, with those goodies in hand, Luna will clamber up the cragged rock and rejoin Lae'zel. And she's going to see all of these really weird holes, and she's going to stop and take a look at them.
The wall is riddled with holes. A suffocating stench of long rotten meat wafts out.
Let's go ahead and try and inspect the holes. Hopefully we roll decently, because we do have decent survival and good wisdom. 9, that should be perfect. Yeah. Excellent. Inspect the holes.
You recognize the odor. The foul scent of carrion crawlers. Centipede-like aberrations that feast on the dead.
Ugh.
At one time, these caverns must have been their banquet hall. The creatures are either long gone or waiting patiently in the darkness.
Well, with that unsettling thought, we are going to leave. We are not reaching into that hole. That's weird. I like my arms where they are. Actually, before we do that, Astarion, would you be a dear and shoot a firebolt into these torch stalks? So we're going to have Astarion creep ahead and just take care of all of these torch stalks. Oh, shoot. So the boulette might be coming by for another visit.
Something's burrowed in there. Something big.
I hope she doesn't mean that hole, because that hole is not nearly big enough for the boulette. But before we bother with the boulette, Astarion is going to notice that there is a pathway over here. And there's a hidden torch stalk waiting to blow them up after they cross it. And he's going to go ahead and jump across and see what they can find. We see a skeleton with the Helmet of Autonomy, which gives you proficiency in wisdom saving throws. Fairly simple helmet, but kind of nice. And we see a bunch of clamshells. So Astarion, without further ado, climbs down the rocks. And we find ourselves in a Festering Cove with a bunch of these weird fish creatures. Astarion is going to start leading the charge down, but is going to peel off. And I want to see if I can get him to the other side. Perfect. So Astarion, doing Astarion things, is just going to crouch down up here, while Luna, Lae'zel, and Will step toward these little creatures.
Our blood to fill your oceans, O blessed Boal. Our bones to build your temple in the deep.
A wave of pure devotion washes over you, and with every surge you feel a presence grow in response.
Word, priest. Promises. Your god wants proof. Wants blood.
These beings are Kuo-Toa, former Mind Flayer slaves that manifest their gods through sheer belief.
You, our Lord of Murder, demands sacrifice. You will be an offering for the great god Boal.
Boal. Baal is the god of murder. Yeah, she's just going to say that because she correctly identified these creatures and knows that the god is real to them because that is literally what they do. So instead, she will go with option number 2.
That's so, Cutlet. I'm a god, and I fancy a bit of murder. Simple enough. Well placed. Bual wants a sacrifice. Bual wants blood.
I am not going to make another offer. I am not sacrificing any of my companions, so they've given her no choice but to attack. She needs to defend herself and her friends. Alright, Luna is going to... Spike growth! We love spike growth. So that would hit her, but right here, she should be okay. And then she is going to back up and wild shape into a bear. But let's go ahead and get Astarion into this fight. So currently, he is sneaking up on the high ground. He is going to put a ranged attack into the Kuo-Toa hunter. Oh, I was hoping he would do enough damage that he would just kill it outright. Instead, he will put his second shot into its back. Then he will scooch up a little bit, cast a level 1 Hunter's Mark onto the Kuo-Toa up on the higher ground, and send his Dread Ambusher shot into that marked Kuo-Toa for 22 damage. Fantastic job, Astarion. And he is just going to hang out on the high ground. Luna is going to end her turn. Will is going to turn on the repelling blast part, is going to send out a strength hex onto the fake god Boal, and send 2 eldritch blasts into its face. Nice, connecting for a total of 23 damage. This game is making me do mental math.
I am fury. I am
Lae'zel, I don't want her hurting herself on the spike growth, so instead she is going to Misty Step. Where does she want to Misty Step? I think she wants to Misty Step up to this high ground and start taking out the Kuo-Toa hunters on the high ground. So attack number 1 for 16 damage, attack number 2 for 15 damage. Great job from Lae'zel. She can now come down and focus down on this Kuo-Toa on her next turn. Now the Kuo-Toa's turn. So Spike Growth getting a bit of damage in. Luna takes 5 damage. Ooh, and she lost her concentration. So sad. So good. They're aiming all of their attacks onto Luna. That is perfectly fine with me. Ooh, jeez. Maybe it's not fine with me. Holy hell. Lae'zel is going to shield this. Very nice, making the attack miss. Astarion, seeing that Luna might be in a bit of a pickle, is going to stay up here on the high ground, but get a little bit closer. And he will recast Hunter's Mark onto Boal. And send 1 shot into Boal for 16 damage, and send his second shot into Boal for 12 damage. Great job from Astarion. Luna is going to... yeah, she'll go back into wild shape. So her bear form smacks out at Boal for 18 damage. Attack number 2 for 12 damage. Great job. I think we're going to focus on whittling down Boal, because yes, so it heals itself when it kills a creature and can attack 3 times, so he is rather dangerous, so we want to whittle him down ASAP. Will, I think, still has his concentration on. Yep. So he is going to just send 2 Eldritch Blasts right into Boal for 13 total damage. Great job. And he is going to attempt a shove. Yeah, no, he's not. He's going to hold his ground. Lae'zel smacks at the Kuo-Toa hunter for 16 damage and smacks again for 16 more damage. Great job from Lae'zel. She starts heading toward the middle of the fray. Oh shoot, I keep forgetting she has click heals. Dang it. Attack misses Luna. Attack for 8 damage, 7 damage. Attack on Will for 7 damage. Firebolt on Lae'zel misses. Ooh. Okay. Luna's still in her bear form. She smacks at Boal. Nice. And so Boal's faithful. We have frightened these poor creatures who have just seen their god die. Sorry. And her next attack is going to go onto the... they can still do an attack of opportunity. So she is just going to smack the Kuo-Toa with the fewest hit points for 12 damage. Astarion will reapply his Hunter's Mark. He will do it on the Kuo-Toa surrounding Will, just so that he can maybe try and... Ooh, target outside of range. What if I creep up this way? Okay, that's better. So maybe he... It's a little ambitious to say he can take it out by himself, but he can try. 14 damage. Yeah, he's definitely not taking it out by himself. Oh, yeah, definitely not. Okay. Good try, Astarion.
Favors the fearless.
Will is going to try a... He's going to attempt to tank this attack of opportunity. Perfect. And he will reapply a strength hex. I don't suppose it matters. Let's just do this, Kuo-Toa. Let's try and take one of them off the field. And I don't want to lose any of their bodies to the void, so let's just go ahead and take off the repelling blast and shoot them. Ooh, just not enough. If that second blast had hit, it probably would have, but for now, that Kuo-Toa is still alive. Lae'zel comes forward and tries to smack. Perfect for 16 damage. Smacks again for 17 damage, and she is going to go ahead and action surge and do it again. For 14 damage and 16 damage. Great job, Lae'zel. I mean, I'm probably going to short rest after this, so it doesn't matter if she takes a little bit of damage, so let's go ahead and not shield that. She takes 6 damage. Ooh, Luna is ensnared. Oh, they have little nets that they throw. That's so cute. Firebolt on Luna for 1 damage. Great job. She is going to claw out at the Kuo-Toa with 8 hit points left for 14 damage. And then... yeah, the Kuo-Toa with 53 health points for 17 damage. Yeah, she'll guzzle a little potion. Maybe she can tank one more hit. Astarion is going to shoot down at the Kuo-Toa he Hunter's Marked for 16 damage, and he baned them. Then 11 damage. Great job from Astarion. Will is going to Eldritch Blast. Actually, he's going to reapply his Hex, because I know how to play this game. And then he will Eldritch Blast. Very nice. Taking care of them and getting his temp HP.
Time to strike.
Lae'zel is going to smack for a critical miss, and she is going to smack for a critical hit. Great job. Lae'zel taking 6 damage. Ooh, critical miss on Luna. Great job. Luna is going to try and take out this Kuo-Toa, missing her first attack. And 17 damage on her second. Then she's going to walk up and will be ready to take care of Pool Drip the Zealous.
Spill some blood.
Astarion... even though it's out of his normal range, he's going to give it a shot. It's still a 90% chance to hit. So 8 damage and a Bane. Alright, and 14 damage. Perfect. So with Astarion, I'm just going to have him loot the high ground real quick. Okay, and then he's going to go back to Luna, who is going to drop her wild shape. And she is going to scan the area. I said you're going to scan the area, thank you. And we'll take everything that everyone has. Perfect. And again, scan the area. Pool Drip has the Sickle of Boal. I've never actually used that because I don't think it's actually worth it. Some fish. Those are always nice. Kuo-Toa Skirmisher. That was, I think, sacrificed for Boal. Yeah, I think Lae'zel looted them when she killed them. Yep. And we see a gilded chest over here with a lovely clam shell in it. Up here, we see somewhere we can jump across, but there are some torch stalks lying in wait, so Astarion is going to poke his little head around and fire off a firebolt onto this first torch stalk. Then he's going to jump onto the second one and firebolt the second torch stalk. And we see one in the background. And can he make this jump? No, he cannot. So Lae'zel to the rescue.
Action, not reaction.
Come on, Lae'zel. You got this. So Lae'zel jumps across.
Take heed. I see a
What
trap.
was that? I don't know, but she got healed. Pile of bones. So, let's see. Ranged attack on the torch stalk. This thing is armed. Can I pick it up even if it's armed? We're gonna try. Okay. Then we're going to try and give it to Astarion to disarm. There you go, buddy.
Keep a blade close.
So Astarion is going to attempt to disarm this thing. As long as he doesn't roll a 1, he should be fine. Perfect. And it is locked, so he is going to lockpick.
Skeleton key.
Again, as long as he doesn't roll a 1, he should be fine. Perfect. And inside of it, we see the Slippery Chain Shirt. Cautious Healer. When the wearer heals a creature, it automatically disengages and won't trigger an opportunity attack. This might be really nice with a health-focused cleric build, which I sadly don't have in this playthrough, but maybe the next one. Anyway, he and Lae'zel rejoin the party. And Luna sees that there's a little bit more to this cove to investigate. And so with the last couple of minutes of the video, we are going to go to the back part of the cove and take a look. So we see a bunch of fish and fish barrels. So Luna is going to take all of that because, you know, food is great. We need camp supplies.
Maybe I need more pockets.
I mean, it's not like we're hurting for camp supplies, but any little bit helps. Okay, we see this laculite, which I don't really know what it does, but it probably doesn't matter.
Something over there.
Oh, we see a message in a bottle. And so we see that it's a letter from Donnie, the little tiefling boy who was non-verbal in the Druid Grove. So, interesting bit of lore right there. We see a little shrine of the Kuo-Toa, as well as, you know, a little picture of the Kuo-Toa down on the ground. More laculite. And a crapload of gold spread across the ground, along with the ecstasy of murder. You can read that for a little bit of information about Ball. And let's go ahead and pick up all of these gold pieces scattered on the ground. I know it's only one piece of gold at a time, but I'm sure there's like, you know, 10, 15 pieces in total. Yeah, probably closer to 10. And some booze. Okay, and I think that is it for this area, so we are going to warp back to the beach and end the episode here for today. I hope you enjoyed this adventure. I always have a lot of fun with this fight, both this one and the Kuo-Toa fight. They're not too scary, so it's not too bad on honor mode. But anyway, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like on the video and comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. I hope you all have a really great day, and until I see you guys next time, bye bye!